Hey Third Tribe, and welcome back to Third Eye Tarot. So in today's video, we'll be exploring another one of the Minor Arcana cards in the deck of the Tarot, and we'll be deep diving into the Nine of Swords. So the Minor Arcana cards in the Tarot card reading are known to emphasize the daily events, behaviors, and choices made by an individual in their day-to-day lives. The cards are divided into 4 suits, and each suit contains 14 cards. So today we'll be exploring the 9th card in the suit of swords of the tarot, and that is known as the 9 of Swords. So in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, the 9 of Swords tarot card shows a woman that is sitting on her bed with her head in her hands. She appears to be very upset or nervous, possibly having woken up from a very bad dream. There are 9 swords hanging on the wall behind her, and there's a quilt that is covering her bed, which is decorated with roses and various other astrological symbols. So while in the first place the card can appear quite daunting, this card actually aims to reveal deeper emotional issues that you may be keeping hidden or maybe even avoiding altogether. For others, this card could also symbolize thoughts and feelings that are weighing heavily on your mind and keeping you up all night. These may be troublesome thoughts and feelings that are due to overthinking or excessive worrying. But this card also serves as a reminder to not obsess over your fears, as the more you think about them, the more they will actually affect you. It asks you to break free out of this negative cycle, where one negative thought actually leads to another, as this domino effect will just leave you completely overwhelmed. So when the 9 of Swords card appears in a tarot card reading, it usually suggests a time in which you'll be experiencing some deep feelings of sadness. You might also be feeling significantly sensitive and emotional at this time. When it appears here, it asks you to not be shy to seek out support from your loved ones or your friends during this time, as they are the ones who will be able to help you to work towards a solution and help you gain a sense of peace and control over your life again. It also reminds you that a different objective perspective can actually help you get better clarity and understand your situation much deeper. So if this card is pulled in the upright position for a love-related reading, it can signify guilt or regret and can be a sign that any secrets that you may have been keeping from your partner are starting to finally take a toll on your mental health. Whatever challenges that you and your partner are facing at this time, this card appearing here in its upright position asks you to recognize that it affects both of you, and so you'll both need to talk to each other, figure out things together, and find solutions for these problems together. For those who are single, the 9 of Swords card in its upright position can signify that you have been too preoccupied with thoughts and feelings from your past, and perhaps all the failures from your past relationships are keeping you from letting someone new enter into your life. When this card appears here for you, it asks you to find a way to heal and move on, or your future will have a lot of positive opportunities for you, only if you're brave enough to leave your past behind. If this card is pulled in the upright position for a career-related reading, it can suggest a time in your life in which things on the work front may not be going very smoothly, and you might be getting very overwhelmed by the stress and work overload at work. If you think that you are not able to cope successfully, this card asks you to make sure you reach out to your colleagues, as you may be thinking worse of the situation than it actually is, and you have decided to take on all the burdens on yourself. It asks you to step into your role of delegation and express your leadership skills, and make sure you distribute the work fairly so that the tasks can get done much faster. In terms of finances, when this card appears in its upright position for a financial situation, it can symbolize a time in which you might be very worried about your finances at this time, and there's a lot of stress and anxiety that is associated with this card. But when this card appears here, it asks you to stop and evaluate the situation properly. Instead of assuming that you have great financial issues, calculate and figure out your expenses and your savings, as you might just be making mountains out of molehills. If this card is pulled in the upright position for a health-related reading, it can signify some sort of mental health issues like anxiety, insomnia, or even very bad headaches. So when this card appears here for you, It asks you to find healthy ways to cope with all the stress that you're undergoing at this moment. For those who have been self-medicating or relying on drugs and alcohol to numb the pain, it is advised that you stop immediately and to rather seek professional help. Whether it's counseling, admitting yourself into a drug rehabilitation program, or reaching out to family or friends that could be of assistance to you at this time, you'll definitely need to do it so that your health can improve for the better. So now I want to talk a little bit more about this Nine of Swords card in the reverse position during a tarot card reading. So when this card appears in its reverse position, it can indicate that although you might be experiencing some sadness, the dread is now ending and the dejection will pass. You will soon realize that your anxieties and worries were unfounded and your feelings of depression will begin to subside. On a more negative aspect though, the reverse Nine of Swords can mean a continuation of worry and despair, which can be related to some old traumas and issues of the past. And so when it appears here for you in this reverse position, it asks you to make an effort to push yourself out of the space or you will only sink deeper into it. It reminds you that you are the architect of your own nightmares and you have created a world of monsters and shadows that live deep inside your head. It asks you to find a way to control your mind and keep the demons at bay, for in doing so, you will be able to control your anxiety and your feelings and emotions of vulnerability. So if this card is pulled in the reverse position for a love-related reading, it can indicate that too much anxiety and maybe perhaps even jealousy is affecting your relationship with your loved one at this present moment. It symbols a time in which only better communication can actually help improve the situation between the two of you. Simply swallowing your emotions and feeling hurt will only spoil the situation more. And so it's important that you remember that if you have anything that you need to voice to your partner, the only way you can improve your situation is by telling your partner exactly how you feel. This card can also indicate for some that you finally made up your mind to walk away from a toxic or challenging relationship, and a time in which you'll finally receive some proof about the dishonesty of your partner, and you'll be able to confront the situation head on. If this card is pulled in the reverse position for a career-related reading, it can tell you that with a change of your attitude, perspective, and behavior, you can actually be able to solve all the problems that you have been facing in the workplace. Your constant worrying is not going to sort out any bad situations, and instead it will only make it worse. If you feel like you're being stumped by your co-workers or your boss, you'll need to stop playing the victim and begin to stand up for yourself. For those who are looking for a job, you'll need to be more vocal about your talents and learn how to sell yourself better. Apply to all the new opportunities you see online and leave your CV or resume at any new companies advertising vacancies. In a financial spread, this card, when it appears in its reverse position, indicates that you'll need some help to sort out your finances. You may be facing lots of stress because of the worsening of your financial situation, but it's important that you approach this from a positive perspective. It can also symbolize a time in which you are finally able to get a more realistic view of your money and your money matters, and now you have a better plan in motion on how to salvage what is left of your savings and how to make positive steps to grow it from the inside out. If this card appears in the reverse position for a health-related reading, it can suggest a time in your life in which you might need to give more importance to your physical well-being and start some sort of exercise routine in order for you to get your life and your health back on track. Life is not always about building that empire, but also about socializing and taking time to enjoy freedom of movement and vitality. For those who have been experiencing some sort of grief associated with childhood pain, this card appears here to ask you to seek some counseling so that you are finally able to put these demons to rest. Being terrorized by nightmares, anxiety, and stress can be quite traumatic, and therefore this card appears here to ask you to work together with your counselor and to sort of make some peace with your past. And so that was all I have to say about the Nine of Swords tarot card. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you found the video very interesting and informative. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with some of your friends in the tarot community. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.